Hey guys, this is Sam. Welcome back to another episode of Hasselblad. Why? Why do you do this to me? As we all know, it's never the camera's fault, it's always my fault. So today I'm gonna share with you guys what I did wrong with my Hasselblad that causes this. The overlapping images. So you don't do this. Well, unless you think it can be a cool, artistic choice. Well, in that case. And this is more like a part 2 of my previous video. Sam, you should try motion picture film. And today, we're gonna continue exploring another motion picture film, the Kodak Vision 250D. And this film is pretty nice. Instant camera. Let's go back all the way to that one day I was casually walking around in my hometown in China. I found this really cute camera store that's full of Insta cameras. Look at this cute cool one. Last year today. So I just asked the owner of this shop if I could take a photo of him. I wanted to take a photo of the owner of that shop. He kindly said no. And then there's this girl walking by. She was looking at my camera. She was like, "Is that a Hasselblad?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we start geeking out about the camera. She told me she's a portrait photographer and she has a studio in town. And then we just exchanged contact info, and that is how I got myself another portrait test. So randomly, on the street. 加个微信吧，可以。艺人上线了。
哦，这都是我工作室的。
啊，我帮你拍张照吧。
这个吗？啊，真假？
真的真的。
我不会拒绝的。
啊，那来呀来来 ，I'm gonna take a photo first. That was nice. I found myself a photographer who has a studio. So I guess I'm gonna try to arrange a photo shoot with her sometime in the next few days. This video is meant to be a Kodak Vision 250D portrait test. In the previous video, we've tried out the Kodak Vision 500T and we talked about what is motion picture film and what's the differences between motion picture film and regular still photography film. I will leave a link up there somewhere. You can go check it out if you're interested. And now let's jump right into the photo shoot and take a look of the pictures. Finally, we got such a beautiful and sunny day. I got to the studio about 9:30 in the morning. We're only gonna have 2 hours of the studio time, so I first walked around the studio and picked out the wardrobe before the model arrived. The studio space is on the second floor and the sunlight looks so pretty through the window. The Hasselblad is the most easy film to load. Like, I really enjoy loading this camera. And after I load my first roll of 250D, I accidentally pressed the shutter before I wind the film on. And this is where it all went wrong. At first, I didn't think it would be a big deal, and I just then keep winding the film on after I accidentally took the first shot. But this is where it started to feel weird.
We can shoot at 250. 250.
Every time I took a shot, this winding knob just feels loose. It feels like the film is not catching on properly. And then I looked at this frame count window. Sometimes it would just stop in the middle of 2 numbers. And then I just keep on shooting. I finished that whole row without realizing this would be a problem. After I received the photo from the lab, I was kicking myself so hard, regretting I didn't shoot another row just for safety. Many of these photos turned out overlapping each other. I was like, ah! I really like how the color and the texture turned out though. The skin tone looks so nice. The color is soft but also vibrant at the same time, and the film grain is so fine and the model looks so beautiful. If I didn't make this mistake, these would be good pictures.
再滑一点。
Oh well, luckily it didn't ruin every single shot. Later the camera seems like to fix itself. I did get a couple of photos that came out fine. This is a shot I purposely underexposed about one stop to see how the film would handle. I think it looks pretty nice. Normally, if I underexpose the photo, the shadow would look more greenier. But this one, I think the shadow looks pretty clean. I still prefer the slightly overexposed ones. I think it fits the vibe I'm going for here. I just realized these couple of photos had some light leak. Not sure what happened there. Might be from me winding the film wrong, or might be from respooling and the sealing of the film, or it might be developing. I'm not sure. The last 2 shots, I stepped outside and had the model stand in direct sunlight. The contrast looks really nice. I would thought the light ratio between outside and inside would be too big, but you can see the transition is very smooth. Since I didn't wind the film right, the last shot also got cut into, so I have to crop it again. Thanks to the 6x6 negative, after cropping, there is still quite a lot of pixels to work with. Now I'm looking at this, I think I should have framed out the air conditioner though. It's kind of distracting. Out of the 12 frame, I salvaged 9 shots. I guess it's not too bad. After this roll, I wanted to shoot another roll with my Pentax 6.7 in the other room. And yes, you have guessed it, I did not bring a tripod. And since that room is at the back, there's no sunlight, the 250D is just not enough. So I shot another roll of Portra 800. I think this is my first time shooting Portra 800 though. Huh.
I'm gonna be shooting Portra 800 because this room is basically no sunlight at all. So
So we're gonna be shooting at a higher speed film. The next one we're gonna be shooting with my Pentax 67. I took the first shot while she was still getting ready. Wait a second. Is this Portra 800? This looks very clean for 800 speed film. I imagine 800 would look more greenier than this. This roll was shot with a 105 f2.4 lens. The focal length is very close to the 85 on the Hasselblad. Even with the 800 speed film during the day in a room that has no window facing the sun, I shot a lot of these at f4, f2a, or even wide open at f2.4 if I remember correctly. This roll turned out surprisingly smooth. Granted, I never shot Portra 800 with medium format camera before. This super clean and the smooth look might be the film itself, might be Pentax 67, or it might be the scanner. Now I can't help but wondering, this super fine and smooth look from the 250D might also because of the scanner. All of the photos I'm showing you in this video were processed by a lab in China, and for the first time, I had the opportunity to have them scan my film with an Emacon scanner. If you don't know what Emacon is, it is probably the best film scanner out there. And it is really, really expensive. Now I start to think these photos look the way they are might be the scanner's doing. Cause look at this. I know Portra 800 is a professional grade film, but I really expect 800 speed film looks greenier than this. Oh no, I might have to rescan these film with my own scanner and to see the differences. It's really hard to judge and compare now since the post-process is all different. For the last shot, I went back to the first room. I wanted to see some differences. And by this point, there is nothing we can really compare because different camera, different film, different scanner. But as you can see on the 250D shot, there are these perforation holes on the two sides. So technically, the motion picture film will be slightly smaller than a regular still photography film after you cropped it in. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this look. But just for demonstration purpose, I left all of these pictures uncropped in this video. 10 shots went by really fast. Sometimes I hate how a little the Pentax 67 can shoot per roll, and sometimes I'm just glad one roll only have 10 shots. I set up this photo shoot to test out the 250D, and we unexpectedly have this nice and sunny day in the middle of the winter, so I have to shoot another roll outside. So I loaded up another roll of 250D. I really liked how the color turned out. It's so neutral and so soft. Pretty low contrast and low saturation. At this point, it was almost mid-noon. This could be the worst time to take portraiture outdoor. Since it's winter, the sun wasn't very harsh even at noon, and the film just handles the highlight and the shadow very nicely. I did lost some detail here in the hair, but the fall-offs are still very smooth. In this particular shot, there are so much cyan and green in the background, so the skin tone came out a bit off. I have to edit the skin tone specifically for this one. But beside this, all of the photos I'm showing you in this video are pretty simply edited by just adding saturation and contrast. We were shooting on the street in front of this vintage looking hair salon, and the owner lady who was just sitting there having her lunch, I walk up to her and ask if we could take a shot inside, and she kindly said yes. I remember these photos are about at least one stop overexposed, and this is how I would normally expose for portraiture. The skin, the lab sent me are even more desaturated and flat. I did increase the saturation and the contrast. But overall, I think I really like this flat and neutral look. I really think these photos turned out better than I expect them to be. I really like how the color looks and how fine the green looks with this film. I wanted to say the 250D is definitely worth trying out. If I can't say this is one of my favorite film stock yet. In the 2 hours of time, we quickly shot 3 rolls. However, I think because these films are scanned with a new scanner that I never tried before, it's really hard for me to judge the color and the texture of this film. I might have to rescan them and reconvert them in my own way to really understand the potential of this film. I might have to shoot with this film more or even compare this with one of my other favorites, the Kodak Gold 200, since they're both 200 speed film, to really say how good this film is. Alright, that's a wrap. Thanks to our model Xiaoma and our assistant and studio owner Dongdong. I'm super looking forward to see the film. So stay tuned. There will be a part 3 of Sam exploring motion picture film. I know this video might not be very helpful, but I will try to shoot with this more and learn more about this specific type of film. So please consider to subscribe my channel, leave me a comment down below if you've already tried this film or consider trying it. And this is Sam. I will see you next time. Bye!